Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So this is just a quick channel update video showing exactly what's on the bench right now, future projects and things that are coming in the post. I'm pretty much aware that my videos are kind of all over the place, just the way I post, because now I'm only posting 2 to 3 times a week and I've got a shed load of content that I've already done. So when I do like series videos, parts 1, 2 and 3 and 4, they tend, if I launch them all together with a couple of days apart, they do sort of die a death. I don't really get the views. So I found that if I really sort of mix it up, so every video I post is something usually completely different to the previous video, and that seems to work better. Which I enjoy doing. So one video might be an F1 car, then it might go to a vintage motor, then to a monster truck. So it's that kind of thing, and that seems to be working better than the previous method. So as I say, I've got everything out now, so I'll show you what we've got, and I'll tell you about some upcoming videos, and we'll just go in a little bit of detail about these cars separately, what we're going to do with them, and basically most of all what we're waiting for in parts and things like that. So let's have a look. So this is what we've got on the bench at the moment. There's videos coming for 3 different cars which I've actually moved on now. I think you've just seen the 88 Avanti original running when I cracked a rear upright. We've got a full series of the 2011 Avanti, which is pretty cool, right through to giving it a proper bash on the gravel, which was pretty epic. There's also the custom Terra Conqueror that I've moved on, but again there's a series of videos on the build right through to bashing that as well, and that was pretty epic as well. What else was there? We also have a couple of videos about the beautiful Vanquish, which will be out soon. So as I say, those cars have moved on, and this is what I'm left with. So from top left you can see the Schumacher Cat XLS Riri. So that's due to start a build. When I go to the cars individual, I'll show you the parts that have arrived for them. Then we've got a 2016 Blackfoot, which I've just done the bashing video on, and that was another epic run. Top truck. We've got the WLToys 10258 or 54, I can never remember. That's just my toy just for bashing around. But I'll go into a bit more detail about that. Then we've got the TRF 503. Stay tuned for that little video that's coming. Well, the description, I've absolutely wrote that car off. We've got the Thundershot, original Thundershot, which we've nearly got all the bits for. We've got a rear Grasshopper, which I'm going to do something pretty cool with. And then the 2 at front have just come, so we've got the DTO2, 2-wheel drive buggy, and the DF03 Dark Impact, and that's the limited edition white version. Those 2 are a lot more sort of modern chassis for me, but I wanted to get my hands on them because I want to run them and see how they go. So let's have a look at some parts we've got. So let's start with the Riri Cat XLS. So as I say, it's new in-box kit to build. If you haven't checked the first video I did on the Cat, please do. It describes what I'm kind of planning to do with it. Since that video, the wheels and tyres I wanted for it have turned up. So that's the wider front spiked soft tyres, and another set of soft spikes for the rear. And I've got the chrome wheels. Just bought these wheels and tyres because I'm going to run it with the wheels and tyres that kit comes with, but for the shelf I want it to look sort of as it did back in the day in box art. I've also got this really cool Reedy 12, let me show you. Full focus, Reedy spec 19 turn quad, lovely motor, got that for Buddy on Facebook. That's a real nice motor to put in it. So I'm going to due to start that build probably next week. I've got nothing else. I've not ordered the Fat Cat shell. Not sure if I'm going to yet, but we'll certainly get the build because I've heard quite a few stories about the build's a bit of a nightmare. So let's see what's next. We have the original Thundershot. Again, if you've not checked out the first video on this, please do. This car's got massive sentimental value to me. Since that video, we've got brand new wheels and tyres have arrived, and I've managed, thanks to Tony's Tyre Parts, to sort out the 2 battery clips because they were missing from the car. I've also sourced, which I'm really chuffed about, an original shell, which is crazy. Only slight worry I have with this shell, this is not Riri as well, it's stamped. I don't know if you can see that, if I can hold it, you can see the part number 5860 067.
I am like, because obviously the plastic's very flimsy, but it does seem to have a bit of yellowing colour on it. Now it's got the protective overspray film on, but I am a little bit worried about that if when I cut this out and I spray it, if I can't get this yellowing off, then the white's going to look a little bit yellow, and I'll be gutted if that's the case. This has probably been like a hobby store, you know, just hung up on the shelf with the sunlight hitting it. So as I say, when we get to that, we'll see what we can do. There might be some kind of cleaning products out there that I can use, which will do it. I don't know if you can see the sort of yellow, but you can see it's not sort of as transparent as it should be. So anyway, super stoked to get an original shell because we have got the original decals for it, which is going to be pretty cool. All we're waiting for that is the metal A5, I always get it mixed up, A5 or A4 bracket. The plastic one that's on is mint, it's not snapped, but I'm going to back it with a metal one before we run it. So everything's there for that one, so let's see what's next. Next up, the TRF 503. Well guys, I've absolutely wrote this car off and I'm absolutely gutted. Video stage is the next one that's coming out on this, is just when I get all the electrics all fitted and soldered in and what have you. And then I do a running video, which all went to plan perfectly. This thing was epic. As the standard car runs on 2S, it was over 48 miles an hour. The thing is like lightning and it handled so well. Anyway, I took it out the next day and the plan was to start messing around with the programming card. And I'll take this off. You don't know if this is coming across on video how bad this is, but if you can see, the front end of the chassis is completely bent. Basically the antenna wire came loose, wrapped around the clutch. I lost full control of it. It just kind of went flat out and sort of steering locked to the right, and it smashed into a concrete post. I'd say around 40 miles an hour. We've absolutely destroyed it. We've snapped the front carbon deck. I've snapped, well, it's not, you see that big crack there. I've cracked the carbon chassis. Pins are bent. You can see we've bent that. Oh, sorry, that shock screw's completely bent. Damaged the shocks. But more worryingly than anything, the blue alloy bulkhead is bent. I don't know if you can see it. It's going off to the right. So I've got to strip this quite soon to see exactly what the damage is. I know already that I can get from Fiberlight the new carbon parts. A brand new chassis and a new front top deck carbon will cost about £70 delivered. But the problem's going to be the blue alloy, because as far as I'm aware, there's no spares for sale that I've come across, and I've had a few people looking for me as well, and they're not that hopeful. So this actually might be a car that I eventually have to write off, which I'll be gutted about. This crash has probably cost me about £200. Really gutted, really gutted. As I say, I can fix the carbon, but the blue alloy. Anyway, next video up for this is me starting to strip the front end and actually see what the damage is. I'm gutted. Anyway, let's see what's next. Next up is this 2016 Blackfoot. What a truck this is. I've made 2 videos with this now. Initial one just going through it. I've put full bearing set in it, and we got the electrics in it. Running standard kit, 540 motor and TBL02S, I think it is, Speedo. And we just ran it on 2S, which is plenty enough for this, because as you guys will probably know, the gearboxes are terrible on these. But as I say, I've kind of finished with this now. It needs a bloody good clean, as you can see. But what a car, and I think it's my best running video I've done editing wise. We've got some sort of epic jumps and on the gravel and what have you, and I've made a better ramp now out of cardboard. So I think the action shots are superb, but I was just absolutely blown away with how good this truck is, because it was the first time I've ran one. Let's see what's next. Next up is this Riri Grasshopper. I was given this by Manny's RC Garage 68, which was super kind of him. So I've done a link to his channel and stuff on the first video I've done of this, but it's really appreciated. But I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, so I've just left it on the shelf for ages. but we had a little bit of fun with it because I had some old electrics about. I thought it'd be fun to see if we could, how fast we could make it as a standard Grasshopper, but with using an old brushed motor on NIM 2S and 3S. And the idea was to see if we could make it hit 40 miles an hour and keep it in a straight line. So I won't give you any spoiler alerts, but those two videos are made and I was quite happy with the results. What I want to do with this now, which I figured out, is I want to make this into, put a sand scorcher body on it, which can be done. It can be bodged to make fit. Lots of guys have done it and it looks epic. There's lots of cuts and shoves to make it happen, but I've not ordered that body set yet, which I need to do. But that's what that's going to be. Next up is a new arrival. It's a DF03 Dark Impact Limited Edition White Edition. It wasn't something on my radar, if I'm honest. I've always been looking for an MS version, but the prices are ridiculous. These are slightly more sort of modern day chassis than I'm used to, but it kind of makes sense on this channel to sort of, if I can get hold of them, to run them. I had a pull to this with it being the white edition for some reason. It's brand new, never run, looks like it's just been stored. I got the original decals with it, and as I say, it's unrun. It's fully ball raced. Now my idea with this is, I've ordered the hop-up DF03 shocks for it, the blue alloy ones. They've not arrived yet. I ordered, at the same time I ordered the blue turnbuckle set for it, which obviously is here. I've ordered blue wheel nuts for it. Come on guys, everyone needs a blue wheel nuts. And what else is for something else, and I can't remember. Oh, and I'm changing the wing to the, I can't remember what they call it, the speed wing I believe. It's the one that comes on the MS. It's basically a TRF wing. Which is it's wider, and I just think it looks better. So that's my plan with that. I think with the shocks and the turnbuckles and the wheel nuts, I'm still going to do the shell and wing white. Probably not going to use all the decals. I'm unsure about that yet. I'll put them on bit at a time to see what it looks like. But I do think that thing's going to look pretty epic. Since I've got this, I've since found out that it's got a little bit of a bad reputation. This chassis doesn't seem to handle power very well, so I've been told. People are telling me if you sort of overpower it, you're going to melt the ball diffs. So I'm not planning on putting some crazy monster motor in there, but the fact that I've been told that I might just go brushed because I've got a couple of brush motors coming. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to doing that one up because I think it is an absolutely great looking buggy. But we'll do a separate video on it. So the other new arrival we got was, so we have this DTO2 two-wheel drive chassis. First impressions of this chassis, it's awesome. I know it's a lot more modern than usual, but I just love the setup. And these have a really good sort of following, and a lot of guys race these. So I got this on Kijiji in Canada because it was a decent price. It's got brand new wheels and tyres on it. It's fully ball raced. But my plan is I've ordered the I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Sand Viper shell or Desert Gator. I think the shells are very similar, the shell and wings. Anyway, I've ordered a new one. I've also ordered a Tamiya RZ motor because I've been desperate to try one of those motors out because they have a good write-up. So I'm going to use that brushed. And I'm also planning, when I take the shocks off the Dark Impact, the white ones for the alloy, I'm going to see if I can fit the white shocks onto this car because I'm going to go white. I've also ordered a custom Tamiya set of generic decals. You know those sets that Tamiya make that are not for any particular car. And there's some nice sort of pink and lime colours in it. So I'm going to do shell and wing white because it'll match the white wheels. But as I say, I think if I can, I'm not going to do any more upgrades. As I said, I don't know if I said it, it's fully ball raced, this car. But I want to see what the white shocks will look like when it's done because it's a cracking looking buggy. Anyway, that's the plan with that, but those bits have only just been ordered. So what have we got next? Oh, just one left. And finally I've got my WLToys. I should have known the code. I think it's 10254, I believe. It's the 110th version of the crawler. I got this just for myself and didn't really plan to make any videos. This was just something to run around because I wanted to see if I could do a couple of crawling videos, you know, the real slow motion, slow pace stuff, because I just enjoy watching the channels that do it. And this is a mega cheap budget truck which seems to do the trick. However, I found that it's absolutely awesome on the sand and gravel, so that's what I've been using it for, just blasting it around on 2S and 3S. But unfortunately, I've damaged it, if you can listen. It's got a nasty clicking. I've not even contemplated opening it up yet to see what's wrong. Parts are mega cheap for it, so it's not a big issue. But the overall plan with this, I want to sort of customise it slightly. Way I want to do that, I'm going to chop the back end off. That's all going to be missing, this frame. There'll be no rear wheel on it, so it'll just end here. I'll do it neatly behind here. I want to spray the whole cage up black. I want to put the bead locks to black, and I want to take I'm going to take all the body panels off, clean them up, and then I want to spray those silver. And I just think it'll look a little bit more sort of realistic. So I want to sort the driver unit out as well, possibly put a different driver unit in. Running wise, the bog standard WLToys gear that's in it's good enough. I don't need to up the motor or speed, or I just need to fix whatever I've damaged. But I ended up running it. I put a 3S on it just to do a speed run from 2S and 3S, and I got carried away because obviously it's got a fixed rear diff. And I just think I had it on tarmac and I killed it. It's all my own fault. But anyway, as I say, it's a cheap fix, and I think as a little custom project that's going to look pretty cool.
So that's pretty much it, guys. That's all the sort of stuff on the bench right now. As I said, there's probably some other stuff coming. I've got a few new inbox kits coming, but that's more for the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. Just on the YouTube thing, just want to say a massive thank you to everyone. We're racing up to 4,000 subs, which is crazy. I know this is kind of the quietest time for YouTube in the summer months, but the channel's doing well, so I thank each and every one of you that watch my stuff, because I know I can rattle on, I know I make a load of mistakes. Some of you don't like how I breathe and I gulp. It is what it is, I'm afraid. I'm a fat lad from Bradford, and I'm just videoing what I do in my hobby, that's it. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, it's really appreciated. And if you are new to this channel and you've managed to stay on this long, if you could please consider liking and subscribing, but more importantly, smash that bell notification for our weekly videos, that'd be awesome. And as always, guys, happy ass eating.